Finally, let's take a look at Amazon S3. And so finally, we want to look at the data server, the third type. If you go down here to applications, in a very similar fashion, you can connect to S3. It's just taking it a second to update these icons there. Yeah, and you can connect to S3, for example. And so what you'll need to do then is go in here, and for individual account, in terms of access management, we'll click on access management. Okay, there we go. We'll have to um, provide the service endpoint. Okay, so this is for the cloud version. This is the data server endpoint URL for AWS. We would have to, in most cases, you're going to want to use an IAM role. Again, there are some specific requirements in the documentation around what types of permissions this role has to have. We're not going to cover that here, but there are some requirements there. You provide the region, and you have this nice test connect button. Okay, so that means this is working. Of this information we've given it here, everything's working. If you'd like to get more specific with custom properties and what have you, that's also available here. So once we have it connected, we have it basically working, basically connected. Same pattern as the other two. You want to go to access management. For example, go to resource policies, take a look at Privacera S3. You'll see there are some initial policies created like we talked about before, but essentially in order to access anything, you're going to have to create an initial um, access allowed policy for your individual users. So you'll say, I want to create this policy for the entire bucket Insight Corp and the object within that path, marketing data. And so in this case, these users on the right have these permissions: read, write, delete, metadata, read and write as well. Then if you want to be able to see, are things working, there's actually two separate places to see that things are working. One of them is obviously in the audits section. You can see different access under, say, service type happening. So there aren't any in the last 7 days, but if we take that off, we can actually see it. If we initiate a access, we can do that with this file explorer, which is actually going to show you the different buckets that you have access to. So here's this bucket that we have access to as user WS user 4. You can see in the upper right hand corner. And so if we've connected to that and then try to open a file, okay, so we don't have permission for that file, and that's okay, but it should give us something to see here in access management now, where we were allowed to see under service Privacera S3, we were allowed to see Privacera sales POC, any files underneath Privacera sales POC. So any folders or any folders that are underneath that bucket, we were able to see them. And so as you access things, as things are allowed and denied, you'll see that result come up here. Thanks for watching this video on connectors, how Privacera connects to your data. Make sure you check out other videos we have in the series, or go to privacera.com for more information.